Welcome, Dr. Miriam. Welcome, our brother Andy. Yeah. Welcome, Sister Antoinette Sterling. Yeah. All right. Welcome, Brother Emmanuel. Brother Francis Bezos. You can say something if you feel like. Welcome, Brother Joseph. We used to have a lot of things are changing. Hello, Sister Nancy. Nancy, welcome.
Welcome.
I hope you can talk.
Yes.
Hello, Sister Nikki. Maybe.
Hi.
Hello. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Everything is okay.
Okay. All right. If you want to win, you have to prepare. If you fail to prepare, people say you prepare yourself. Hey, Dr. Lee. Welcome. I don't know if you can. You want to rename yourself? Welcome, Lucas.
Okay, Queen Nadu,
Yes.
thank you so much for welcoming everyone. We are at the top of the hour right now.
Okay, then.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And so while we are waiting for other family
Members, yeah.
yes, members to join us, I just want to join in saying thank you for doing the welcoming. Thank you to everyone, for everyone that is on the YouTube. I am not connected, so I don't know if the YouTube is on now firing. I'm waiting for the signal.
Okay. Are you going to play the song now? Or?
No, Dr. Derek is not. Sister P is in the background and she is on the road, so we may not be able to play that. But wait, Sister P, are we able? I know you're on the road. That doesn't seem feasible, but I don't just want to proceed with that.
Yeah.
So if we are not able to play our signature tune today, Dr. Derek too is not here, and then we may just go straight into our webinar session for today.
Okay.
Yes. So I know Dr. Pat is not able to respond, but all right. I'm multitasking today, everyone, so just bear with me. I have two screens in front of me. So if you see me looking at the side of my, whether it's left or right, just know that I'm trying to look at the other screen. So thank you for your understanding with that. All right, just a few house cleaning or a few house reminders as we are about to begin at the top of the hour. Please, if you are on, mute yourself, but I'm going to mute everyone so that once we get into this session, we would be able to hear what our guest speaker for today has in stock for us. And not only that, I mean, we at the Dream Team, we know we are known for our mindset. And we have our queen and sister today, who not only blesses us, graces us with a lovely, beautiful voice, but she is here today and she is also going to be able to bless us with the mindset for today. So, Queen Lerato says, we love you, we know you're here, and thank you. And we look forward to hearing what you have in stock for us today for the mindset. All right. Just give me a minute. I am trying to confirm if YouTube is on and going.
Sister Kanla, YouTube is on.
Okay, all right. Then that is great. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Queen Dr. Pat. So welcome everyone to the Dream Team webinar. Today, Sunday, the 19th of October. Can we believe it's almost the end of the year? We have basically November, December, and this year will be over. What a blessing for all of us still to be here. What a blessing to have this unique, beautiful, lovely family, the Dream Team family. And what a blessing we have each other. We meet here on Sundays and even within the week through other platforms so that we stay in touch. We continue on our journey, our business journey, and our dreams for tomorrow. So this journey has come a long way. We have come a long way to be with one another. And so for that, we don't take it for granted. We don't take your time. We value every time you are here with us. So thank you, thank you. For today, you may not see some of our leaders. They are out, they are away, but they are with us behind the scenes or with us in spirit. And you may hear them come in and out, but just know that the leaders are here. And so I want to say to all the leaders of the Dream Team, you have been a wonderful team to work with. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for every effort, sacrifices. And we all see it because to be able to have 500 plus webinars is not something easy. So heartfelt gratitude to everyone, whether you are helping as a leader on YouTube or whether you're helping in the background and we may not see you on a regular basis. Your video on camera, you are appreciated, you are loved. And know that we will continue to appreciate and look forward to what we continue to share and educate and enrich each other on this platform. So thank you, thank you. Without much further ado, we will go to the first webinar item, which normally is supposed to be our signature tune, but because our leader who has it is not here and Dr. P is on the way, so we may not be able to play that signature tune today. And so we are just going to go ahead with our mindset for today. And it is always with great pleasure and honor for me to introduce our sister and queen, Queen Lerato. I mean, she is no stranger. We know her, we love her, and we are looking forward to what you have to share with us today. Over to you, Queen Lerato.
Hey, beautiful sis.
Yes.
How are
Good to
you?
see
How
you.
are you? You're
Fine.
good?
We missed you last week.
I know, traveling and yeah, just a lot. But you know, when I'm not here, it's hard not to be here because you miss so much. I miss so much, but it's good. We catch up and we laugh together, and just seeing you again just gives me strength and the into the new week, the oomph
Ab-
into the new week.
Absolutely. All right.
Absolutely, sis. Yeah, so I'm just so Excited to be here, like always. And I'm going to start off by saying that I just want to thank God for this opportunity to be here, because it's not by my own, know-how that I'm here. That this day that I've been given by God to breathe, to smile, to love, to whatever, I don't take it for granted. So I just want to thank God for that. And thank God for you guys. You're here. We see each other. We're breathing. We're alive. So it's good to be here. So, you're talking about the topics, Sister Kanla. I was just battling with the topic, because I know we've discussed a lot of things over a period of time. We spoke about our mindset and things that we believe for, and how we can change the way that we think in order for us to align and agree with good in our lives, right? And there are many topics that we spoke about. We spoke about the power of silence and the power of, last week I spoke to you about surrender. And I actually wanted to continue on that train of thought. But this week, something just came up, and I was like, this is very important. I'll come back to the power of surrender again. But I think this is very important to talk about this week, because it's a topic that I didn't even plan, but it's just something that just jumped up. And I know in some of our previous talks, we also had this topic, which is a topic of faith, right? And in those lines, what I read today, I'm just going to read a quote for you guys. And the quote says that a winner is not somebody amazing. It's just somebody who just decided to try one more time when they lost before, right? Is that is a winner, somebody who decides that they're going to try one more time and not give up. And it's that mindset of resilience, the mindset of faith, believing against all odds. I know some people will say, oh, we don't want blind faith, la, la, la. But that's not what I'm talking about. I just want us to talk about faith in context of what I'm going to talk to you about. Of course, we can take it in many different directions. But what I want to talk about today is just the power of faith and believing, right? And I'm going to quote from what I know, like I always say, I'm going to quote from what I know and what stands true to me. And if it radiates and it you agree with it, it will also be something that you agree with as well. So I was just reading that, and just today, the whole topic for me, the whole theme about everything for me was about faith. And it says that by faith we understand that the world was created by the word of God, right? And we understand that what is seen was made out of what is invisible. I know a lot of people know that statement, but I think it's so powerful, because we read certain things that we become familiar with, and because we're familiar with it, we lose the essence and the depth in those words, or in what they actually mean. We can sometimes be lost in translation. We can also be lost in familiarity. We can get familiar with certain quotes or certain words, and we actually lose the depth and the essence. It says, we understand that everything that we see in this world was first created where it was unseen, and then it manifested and became visible. But it was through faith. It was through that deep belief and strong belief and trust without proof or evidence that that thing is there in order for it to manifest, right? So it's just it blew me. That thing blew me, because we always talk about here wealth, the mindset of creating wealth. Where does it start? Who we understand whom we are, that we are not just flesh and bones, guys. We're spiritual beings, and our belief matters. What we believe matters, because what we believe is what's going to manifest for us in this life, because we're not just bone and flesh, we're also spiritual beings. So like energy attracts the other. We said that we're energetic beings, right? So that statement of faith, to say that what you believe becomes who you are as well, and becomes the things that build you too. It's very powerful, right? And also the statement of faith, of belief beyond reasonable doubt. Like you strongly believe in your dream, or you strongly believe in anything that you want to place your faith in without actually seeing the evidence. For me, that is really like, wow. Okay. So I'm gonna also quote from something that I know, right? As we were growing up, we read stories from the Bible, and there's this particular story. I mean, there are many stories, but this particular one is one of the major ones, of Abraham and Sarah, and them giving, they were praying for a child for a long time, right? And according to us right now, if somebody says to you, you know, your grandma at 100 or 90 is going to have a child, none of us will believe that. We'll be thinking, okay, you're Dululu. You are cray cray. You're crazy. Who's going to give birth at 100 or 90 something? Who does that? Even when they're beyond their youth, because in this world we're conditioned to believe that everything happens in our youth. In your youth, everything has to happen. All the things that you have to achieve, they have to be achieved when you are in your youth, which is it can be very troublesome, because some people achieve certain things later in their life and for a reason. Because some of us, if certain things happened earlier in our lives, we won't have the wisdom to know how to handle them and how to have longevity in those blessings that God gives us, right? Or in those things that we wanted for ourselves. There's some people here, if you were wealthy in your 20s or in your 30s or 40s, you wouldn't be able to handle it. You would squander it, or, you know, you wouldn't have the wisdom to operate in that kind of wealth without, you know, making mistakes, major mistakes that will be detrimental to you. Right. So certain people, certain things happen at specific times in their lives, and there's no timeline. Like I always tell my friends, I'm like, you know, all these invisible timelines that we put for ourselves, that by this age you have to have had this, by this age you have to do this, and I'm like, those are just invisible timelines in which are lies. Because I know people in their 90s or in their 80s, 70s who decided to go and get their doctorates. They went to university, they studied, they got their doctorates. I know people, yeah, I know, just Google, there's a lady in her 80s, she got her doctorate. She always wanted to become a doctor. She got her doctorate, and she was a doctor at 80. Right? So there are many people. I mean, you look at KFC, the man who the founder of KFC. It happened later in his life when he said, you know what, I'm gonna do something, make something out of this, and it was later in his life. Look at the person who, the founder of Alibaba. Right, you look at his age and where everything started happening. It happened later. It didn't happen in his 20s. It didn't happen in his 30s. You look at Morgan Freeman. If you know the actor Morgan Freeman, his career started picking up at his 50s. Right, and now he's one of the names, the A-listers on Hollywood, in Hollywood. But that happened in his 50s. According to us right now, the way we would think, you know, as you reach 60, everything is done. You know, there's no dreaming, there's no life anymore. It's a lie. All those timelines that we put for ourselves, it's a lie. And for you to have a strong faith and belief, you have to break all these invisible myths and lies that we tell ourselves along the way, to say you can't succeed here, you blah blah. We have to just break all those things and separate ourselves from those things, right? And have faith and stand on our faith and belief that whatever we believe ourselves, you know, the things that we believe for, especially wealth or whatever that we're believing for, it's going to come to pass, because we're putting in the work. Right? Whether we're putting in the work spiritually, physically, mentally, we have to believe for it. You cannot do anything without belief, guys. There's no way. If you don't have faith in anything, your belief system will create, or will determine what gets attracted or what becomes a part of you in your life. So you have to check your belief system and really question it, just to say, how is my faith? What am I believing? Right? I know people, because they believed that they're gonna be healed. I know people, when you read different stories. I mean, I was sitting here the whole day watching impossible things, right? Where we would call it impossible, watching people being cured of diseases that they said they were incurable, because they chose to believe that they're gonna be healed. Somehow the body listened and did the impossible. Right? So the power of faith is something worth mentioning. And I think specifically in this time where we are right now, us meeting here, faith is something that we have to stress, or to re-mention, to say we cannot do anything without faith. We cannot do anything without faith. And when we believe, thank you, Emmanuel. When we believe, we can open realms of impossibilities and make things that seem impossible possible. Faith, it gives you that access to the realm of possibility. When you believe and you put your faith, you open yourself up for miracles. Things will happen that you didn't even think of, because you opened that possibility for yourself, because of your mindset as well. So it's very, very important to check your faith meter and check where it is as it concerns to your life, to anything that you believe in, whether you're in business or whether you're in anything. You have to check your faith meter, because that faith meter will determine how far you go, and the strength, and it will give you the strength when things don't seem like they're possible. It will give you the strength to reach for those things that seem impossible in order for them to make them a possibility. Right. So faith, I think it's really, 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 really worth mentioning. Sis, can you please help me mute some microphones so I don't lose my trail of thought? Right. So I want to mention a couple of companies here because we're in a company, right? We met here because we believed in a company and everything. And I just want to mention a couple of companies because I was making my research and I wanted to understand what made them stand and what made them the best and what made them, that endurance, that pushing power behind them. What was it about? And so you can also make your own research as well and find out about these companies that I'm going to mention. And what I checked, I said companies that became, the companies that became big against all odds. All these companies that I'm going to mention, they became the staple companies and they became big against all odds. And they overcame challenges, some of them were near failure, some of them were rejected by the market. Some of them, the competition was too much. They couldn't stand then, but they persevered and they made it against all odds, right? Some of these examples include Apple, right? It includes Apple. You have Netflix in the what do you call it, in the list of those companies. Some of them include Tesla. So I'm gonna just say Netflix. At the time that Netflix was incepted, the inception of Netflix, we had DVDs. And people had DVD shops and different things. Nobody thought, okay, I want to go on the internet and have the whole thing of movies there. I mean, Netflix came in and challenged mindsets. It came in and challenged mindsets, and it introduced change and something different, which a lot of human beings, people are so resistant to change, guys. It's unbelievable how we can be set on our own ways and not want to change at all and be comfortable in our own spaces. I don't know how many people missed great opportunities because they were so settled in their own mindsets and their own way of doing things, and they missed incredible things that would have brought ease in their lives because we are just set in our own ways, right? So Netflix came at the time of DVDs. People used to go to DVD shops, and people didn't believe that you can actually watch movies online and have a whole library of something that you just pay a small amount, and then you have that access to such a large library of movies online. So people were like, no, they were rejecting that idea. But against all odds, Netflix didn't give up. Right now, it's one of the top household names. They even have other companies that came after Netflix because Netflix was Netflix. But had they chosen when they came into the market, like, you know what, guys, there are too many DVD shops around corners. We're just gonna give up. We're not doing this. We wouldn't be here, right? Another one is Tesla, right? They're saying that Tesla in itself, it was like near bankruptcies. They had so many setbacks, but their success now highlights the perseverance. And when you believe in the mission that you can turn failure into triumph, they turn that failure into triumph. Now we have Tesla everywhere. I mean, they're into everything. I was even surprised that they have a solar roof now. Tesla has a solar roof. They have so many things that are in the market. Some of us didn't even know that those things existed. But the name Tesla is on it. SpaceX is on it, right? They didn't choose to give up. I mean, even at the brink of bankruptcy, where everything was just like, you know what, let's just close the doors and just call it quits. They didn't quit. They chose not to quit. They chose not to quit. They still went and they believed in their dream, and they believed and they persevered, right? You look at Airbnb. Who knew that you could rent your house out for somebody to come and stay for a holiday? Had you said this idea 20 years ago, people would think that you're delulu and crazy. It's like, who does that? It's like, crazy person. How can you rent out your house to holidayers? Why? You understand? Nobody would jump into this, right? So people, it
Recording
just
in
was just
progress.
sorry. So the idea came because people were like, you know what, hotels sometimes are too expensive. You want to be there with your family, you have to rent 4 rooms. If you have a big family, you have to get 4 rooms, blah blah blah. Airbnb was like, we have a solution. How about people maybe when they're traveling, whatever, and they're leaving their houses empty, then they rent out the house when they're not there so that people can stay there. A family that would have spent for four, rooms at the hotel, they can actually have the whole house and at a lower price, right? It was a small idea, but now Airbnb is everything. I mean, there are even companies that are now there because of Airbnb and this concept. But had they said, you know what, people are gonna think we're crazy for saying people should rent out their houses to total strangers for holidays, right? Had they just given up because masses are thinking that they're delulu and crazy, but they believed in their dream, they had faith that whatever that their vision is gonna work, no matter how crazy the idea seems, but it's going to work, right? You have Apple. I mean, they're saying Steve Jobs was forced out of the company, and he struggled. He was forced out of the company. Then he came around again and took it out. He was forced out of his own company, guys. So, and then he came in again, and then he started releasing, conceptualizing the ideas like iPad and whatever. So can you believe when he was driven out, had he said, you know what, that was it for me, bye, I'm not doing this, we would not even have the idea of iPad. I mean, I know that a lot of tablets, most of tablets started, being in the market because of the idea of the iPad. A lot of other companies started creating that idea because a lot of people had laptops. We didn't have pads, right? But because he didn't give up, he was like, no, I have a dream. I have a dream to make everything accessible to everybody, even the mere computer. Before, you couldn't carry a laptop. You couldn't carry a laptop, but it was like, we need something that is mobile that everybody can have access to. Except I mean, I like when you have your desktop at home. We want something that is mobile that people can carry. We want to make it even more compact so that it's not so big that people can carry around with them and still work or do whatever you need to do. But it's not a whole computer. It's not a whole laptop, right? But had he given up, who would have come up with that idea? Right? So having faith against all odds and believing in your dream and your mission and understanding that there's no timeline, guys, to your dreams. There is no timeline. That's another thing that I want to mention. There is no timeline to your dreams. Don't tell yourself, you know what, if I don't reach this by this age, whatever age that you put there for yourself, then it's done. Stop with the timelines. Just allow God to do what he needs to do in your life and live your best. You do what you can, you contribute to that dream, and then you relax. You remember when I spoke about surrender the last time? Just surrender and see what's going to happen. Allow miracles to flow in and allow probabilities that would otherwise not have been there. But because you believe, you allow, the realm of impossibility to become a possibility because of your faith, right? Talking about Henry Ford. Henry Ford was one of those companies as well that became successful against all odds. I mean, read the story of Henry Ford too, and see where they came from and how they got here, because they wanted a car that is easily assemblable for people, accessible, not too expensive. Just, they wanted that, and they achieved it. Him and 11 other inventors came together. They said, we believe in this and it's going to happen. And of course, they had a lot of failures before, not even failure, because I believe a failure, you're falling forward. When something doesn't work, you have experience, you move forward, right? So, and they still insisted. They stayed consistent. They believed. They said, "This is a dream that we have. It is going to happen. Whether it's coming out, it's through this modem, because we also have this thing again where we limit ourselves. We're thinking that our wealth or our success will come through one stream, and we decide those streams, and we fix it, and we forget that God doesn't work, is not on our timetable, or God is not on he doesn't operate within whatever small thing that you want to set for yourself. And no, don't do that. You're limiting yourself by doing that. When you are saying, you know what, I'm going to make it, no matter which streams this making it is coming from. The fact is, I'm going to make it. The fact is, I'm going to achieve this and this and this and this. No matter which streams that this come, whatever that you're believing for is coming through. Right. So there are many companies. You have Instagram. Instagram was an idea that was just going to go, it was a small company that didn't even their first module, like whatever that they did before, was not what we have now. They started first with something different called Burn. I don't know if people know that. I didn't even know that company existed. you know. So the only feature on this app that was actually worthy was the photo sharing, of it. So then what happened? Facebook bought it, they rebranded, Facebook bought it, and then now it's one of the top things. Instagram is there. It inspired many other apps that came after it as well. You have Bumble. Bumble was also one of the apps where people were like, who wants to do online dating apps? I mean, after Tinder, people were like, why? But then Bumble is one of the top ones now, because after the CEO was like, you know what, let's package it differently. Let's appeal to women making the first move, whatever the how they came with the second module. Now is one of the biggest companies. They didn't give up on their dream and their vision. That faith that made them see the impossible and to move, move beyond what they thought was a bar for them. They moved beyond that and they believed for it. They believed for it. They believed for it. You can't have a dream and not believe for it. And think, okay, I'm just gonna believe and then be tra-la-la. Today I'll believe, tomorrow I'll be on doom and gloom. I don't know, It's the same thing as mindset. We're all working on our mindset here. And I said, for me, I determined to myself that I am prosperous. I don't care what happens tomorrow, whatever. That prosperity mindset, that days when things will challenge you, like the evidence of what you see in front of you will challenge your belief. But I'm like, I don't care what comes, if I don't care. I believe I'm prosperous. That's it. That is it. I'm not budging. And how that prosperity follows into my life, it can flow through favor, through friends, through love that is, coming through for me when I need it the most. Comfort that I need sometimes. Sometimes you'll be going through things, but because you decided you're prosperous, then that prosperity attracts favor. It attracts things that you need, whatever that I need at that moment, whether it's comfort, whether is a friend, whether it's something that will lift my spirit. It will come in different ways. It doesn't have to come one way. Prosperity is not only financially. Prosperity means that everything around me is alive and it's thriving. So that will come into my life in different forms. Sometimes I'll be somewhere, maybe I'm missing something. A stranger out of nowhere will give me what I need. And I wouldn't even have to go and search for it. Somebody will come, oh, do you need this? I'm like, oh, how did you know? It's like, no, I just felt like maybe I should give it to you. I'm like, wow, actually, this is what I needed. This is prosperity. You're attracting good. You're agreeing with good. It doesn't have to be only one way. Or sometimes I go somewhere. I remember I wanted to service my car. And I was so worried. I was like, oh my God, I hope the bill of this car is not gonna be, when you have to change here in Europe, we have to do winter tires and different things and whatnot. And at that point, I was like, I hope the bill is not gonna be crazy. I got there. Whatever that I set for myself when I thought that that was my budget, I got there. The guy was like, "No, I can do it for you for way." I mean, the price that he mentioned at the end of the day, when I left that car dealership and I left home, I was like, I mean, it's not even half of what I had planned. It's even less than half of what I had planned, because he decided that he's gonna do other things for me for free. He was gonna change my life for free. I asked, "Oh, should I pay for this?" He's like, no, it's something small. He just did that for me, right? But it came through favor, that prosperity. You attract favor, you attract everything. You agree with good, then good will come to you. And I have to believe that I'm that prosperity that I'm talking about, or that prosperity. I have to believe for it and see it forward, that anything that I do, no matter what it is, it will succeed, because good has to agree with me. I agree with good. So I just want to encourage all of you to say, where is your faith bar? Are you believing right for yourself? Even when things don't seem like they are becoming what you thought or what you believe in for, where is your faith bar? Where are you in the faith bar? Where are you? Are you on 10 or are you on 2? Where are we in this journey? We're all here we met here through a company called Unpassive, but we know what this journey is right now. Where is our faith? Where's our meter in that faith? Do we still believe for our prosperity, for our success, for our good to come in, whichever form that it comes in, whichever way that it's going to flow in? We cannot afford to just give up on our belief that good belongs to us, that wealth belongs to us, that prosperity belongs to us, health belongs to us helping other people and making a difference belongs to all of us. We are here to make a difference, and we can't give up because one thing didn't go the way that we wanted, or things don't look the way that it's supposed to look according to us, right? So let's check our faith meter and check our belief systems and check how we're believing, because how we believe will manifest into our life and will become a part of what we attract as well. So I'm going to stop here. So in case somebody didn't tell you that they love you, I want to tell you that I love you so much. And I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you.
Wow, wonderful. Let me give you the applause on behalf of everyone. They are not able to join, and for you to hear how loud and how powerful. Oh my goodness. Queen Sister Lerato, you nailed it. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, wow,
Thank you,
wow.
sis.
Oh my gosh. And we love you too. Yes, we love you. You know, you love us. We love you as much as you do love us. Thank you for that wonderful mindset. I think I started writing and I stopped because I just wanted to listen to you and I just wanted to take it in as you were saying. And I mean, it resonated a lot, so much. And I think I will leave the greater part of it for everyone to be able to go back when this is posted and, reflect deep into your soul what this mindset was all about. Because for me, if I could summarize it or if I could say what you just talked about in a nutshell, you talked about the invisible timeline that we give ourselves, which is in itself limiting. We limit ourselves even before we set out there to achieve our dreams and our goals. And then sometimes you start wondering, why is this not happening to me? Why am I not making 10 steps forward? Or why do I make 10 steps forward and then I fall back 20 steps? The timeline we set for ourselves. And we set the timeline and then we don't accompany it with faith, like you said, faith and believe in God. You need him to be walking side by side with you on that journey. And without him, then guess what? You are marching onward all by yourself with your human strength and your human knowledge, and that's it. And guess what? When we get stuck, who do we fall onto? So at that time, you want to fall back to him when you did not you did not go to him from the beginning of the journey. Right? And then you expect him to come in, but yet he is love. He is merciful. He is full of wisdom. And no matter at what point of the journey, he still steps in and he will listen to you and he will guide you onward onto this journey. Wherever we are going, and particular, let's talk of in the context, like you said, of our journey, a reflection, and also think of all the other beautiful examples you gave. There were moments where they felt like, okay, this is it, I'm giving up, surrender, but yet they didn't. They stood up, they called on God, and they continue. And then at that point in time, the fulfillment came. The achievement came, their prosperity came, but not of their own making or of their own way, how they have envisioned or how they have planned it, not of their own timeline. So to me, that is what I take. Yes, we do what we do from our human perspective or our human nature, but then we also allow God to walk with us on this journey and let his time, his discernment, his guidance combine together. We have to be willing to allow him to be part of this. And then we will see that prosperity come. We will see that achievement. We will see that fulfillment come. And oh my gosh, that day when it comes, it will be a day to celebrate. It will be a day of thanksgiving and shouting, oh my goodness, hallelujah, praise God. Finally, it has happened. And telling me the example you use, the 80-year-old who went back to college, that I was moved when that story came out, and I was like, you know what? I have no excuse not to succeed in whatever I do. Even if I fail 30 times, I would get up, do better, or do something new change and keep on moving. And I'm glad you also brought about the point of focusing on one thing and one thing only. No, because sometimes God leads us, this one fails and you have to see and be open-minded, and then you move to the next opportunity that lies ahead of you. If this one doesn't fail, then you don't get to see the next opportunity. And so I know we've been talking of multitasking, multi-business opportunity, multi-possibilities. Do, and then whichever one God wants to use for you, the one that will work for you, that you achieve your fulfillment, will not be the same for the next person. So to me, that is what I got from the mindset of today, Queen Lerato. Thank you so much. That is just so wonderful. Thank you, sis. And is there any other leader in the house who may have anything to say before we move on? Or Queen Dr. Benny, do we have any comments on the chat about the mindset for Queen Lerato before we move on to the next webinar item, which is going to be introducing our guest speaker for today?
Yes, we do have one from Queen Nadine.
Mm-hmm.
Greetings, sisters and brothers. Sister Lerato, you said it all. I am blown away with the awesome mindset and not giving up on our goals and ourselves, no matter how old we are. The Lord continue to give your inspiration and love for our Lord and Savior. Thank you. This is from Queen Nadine.
Thank you, Queen Nadine. Over to you, Queen Lerato, if you have something to say to that.
No, sis, I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you that it resonated. Thank you that, people were listening and it resonated with all of us. Thank you.
We all love you, Queen Lerato. We love you. And I appreciate you talking about our Heavenly Father, because He created all of us in His image. There is no one else like our Heavenly Father. He woke you up this morning. Without Him, you wouldn't have been here today. Thank you so much. We love you.
Thank you, Queen Dr. Benny, our First Lady. We appreciate you as well, Queen Sister. Thank you. All right. Well, it looks like everyone is still taking it in, so that is good. That is really something good. And we can move on to our next webinar agenda item, which will be to introduce our guest speaker for today, who is none other than a wonderful leader who has been inspiring and educating us on many different topics. And today is one of those days where she continues on the series. Can you all believe this is already part 6? 6! I mean, this is just incredible. Her skills, her depth of the information she shares with us is none like what we know out there, because she has this unique experience working in this field. And so we are honored and we are blessed to have you come here and educate us, inform us, and help us make some very important life-changing decisions, which I know that everyone will leave this webinar today with more information, more sense of understanding, belonging with this topic that is so dear to our heart. And when it comes to health, when it comes to our care, and when it comes to the reality of living out there, having loved ones with you who may need this information, I know that all of us are excited and looking forward to hear what our Queen Sister has for us in stock today. So welcome to you, Queen Sister Irene. Over to you with our part 6 of the theme, Know Your Body and Cancer. Over to you, Queen Irene.
Okay, thank you, Queen Kanla. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Queen Lerato. Let me tell you, there was something I wanted to go back to school to go do. And I keep telling myself, you're 60. By the time you finish, what are you going to do with it? Just put the degree in your pocket and, I don't know, brag about it. So I put that idea behind. This mindset today went and touched me somewhere in my head, and I'm thinking, so I might have to reconsider. I might have to reconsider doing that. So thank you very much. You were really talking to me directly. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that there are many other people here that probably felt like I did too. All right. Yeah, I can't believe that we are part 6 today. And I just want to say that last week or the last time we had this conversation, we're talking about prostate cancer. And I was going to do it in 2 parts. I did the first part of it, and I was going to continue today. And the whole reason why I did this is I'm taking it personally because this is one of those cancers that can actually be treated. I do not want to see our brothers and fathers and uncles or whatnot dying from prostate cancer. And this has really come close to home for me. I've lost close friends and family members to prostate cancer. And at one point I got really angry because these are people that I interact with every day. And they kept it to themselves, did not say anything, and I really couldn't help them, and I really could have. Not saying that I'm God, I would have treated them, but I have decided to take this conversation everywhere. Trust me, even in my cultural groups, in any group that I go to, even at church, I just talk about it because a close classmate that I was very close to, that we went to secondary school, high school, and then we separated and then met again in the US after about 40 years. He was very vibrant. I met him in a party like a month prior, and the next month I get an obituary, or one of those things that there was a wake keeping flyer came to me, and I cried, and it touched me so dearly that I do not want to hear anyone that I know, or just anyone, not even just one that I know, men to die from prostate cancer. So, and that's why I took this personally, and I did it more detailedly than the other cancers that we did. I just want to apologize. Last time, I think some people gave me some questions, and I said I was gonna go make more research, and came back, and I couldn't remember the questions. But I know that one person had asked me about something related to PSA. And I just want to clarify that PSA is not really a diagnosis per se for prostate cancer, but it is an alert. It is something that it's like your alarm clock that wakes you up. So, and I said it is easy now to be alerted, unlike before when the men did not like the physical exams that they did. Now it is a stick. They just draw a small tube of blood and they check your PSA levels. And I believe someone had asked me what's the normal level. And like I said, PSA is just more an alert. The levels really depend on your age. It is a range. So regularly we say 0 to 2.5 is the normal level. But that is more specific for younger people up to 40 years. But up to 40, 50 years, anything between 0 to 2.5 is normal. Anything above 2.5 for that age of up to 50 is abnormal. But notwithstanding, since I said it's an alert, that value changes when you, at age 50 to 60, it will be 2.5 to 3.5. And then 60 and above, it will be 3.5 to 4.5. They consider them normal. The whole reason is because with age, the prostate has worked and it can start producing higher levels of the PSA. It can also be that you've had repeated maybe infections or something. So that prostate is not really going to stay within that normal level, producing the same or the normal levels of PSA. But it is an alert. So when you see that elevated levels, then you investigate more. That's why I say it's more like an alarm clock that wakes you up to say, hey, something is not right. So once that happens, once the PSA is out of range, that is an alert for the doctors to do more investigation. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. But 0 to 2.5, if you go do your PSA and it's within that range, you are in good shape, or your prostate is in good standing. I thought I saw a hand up. I don't know if that was regarding the PSA. So if not, we're gonna continue today. Let me see if I can share my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. I'm trying to do a slideshow. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Not yet. It's still coming.
It's only Carla that can see it for now. We are not seeing it yet.
It's not yet displaying on the screen, Pastor Paul. So we are still waiting.
I don't know. Okay. Sorry. Give me a minute.
Okay.
So I just did a stupid thing because I did that without actually going to share my screen.
All right. I see it coming now.
Okay.
Is that a TV in your background? There is some noise in the background.
You know what? My mom is in the background and
Oh, okay.
she is a little hard of hearing. If you can just give me a minute, let me turn that down a little bit.
Okay. All right. While we wait for our sister to be back, please, if you happen to unmute yourself, just make sure you mute so we can all listen and be able to get this information. We know someone who knows someone who may be going through this and not comfortable enough to
All
be.
right.
All
So
right.
let me know if you can see.
I can see your full desktop display,
can
but
see,
not
we can see
the
it.
particular slide.
How about now? What am I doing wrong here? All right.
Pastor Paul.
Pastor Paul is looking for trouble. Just leave him.
Yes, so
Thank you for joining in today. We missed you.
I have always been in, whether physically or spiritually.
Yes, it's always different when you come and we hear your voice, right?
All right.
Okay. Okay. Jesus. All right. Are you guys seeing my screen?
No.
Okay. I guess I will never get my.
Are you sharing the entire window, or you just want to share that particular the window with this slide? Because
I just want to do the slides.
okay.
Okay. Look, I'm just gonna close down everything else and then start all over.
Okay.
Sorry. I think because I started earlier, sharing something that wasn't there.
Okay.
Or I should start helping you from here, opening for you from here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think now it's showing.
All right, how is that? What are you seeing?
I see the entire display
Of the slides?
of your window. No, the window with multiple documents.
Like it's a double different, is it product or folder? I think it should be products.
Double click on the prostate cancer PowerPoint. Double click on it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay, if you did, okay, it's already open. So, are you using the computer,
at the
right?
bottom of your screen, you
Use
should
Alt
be able
Tab.
to see. Yeah.
Alt Tab, and it will tell you when it's there. It's
Do
open.
what?
It's not the one that's taking precedence. So, if you hold down the alternate key and you click Tab, it will keep changing the screen until you get to the one that's the PowerPoint. Then we'll tell you to stop. So Alt down and then hit Tab. That didn't work. So it's on the bottom. You have to look for one that says prostate cancer part 1 PPT. And click it and it will take over. Right now we are seeing all your documents, all your recent documents. We want to see the PowerPoint presentation. And to do that, you have to look at all the things open at the bottom and click the one that says PowerPoint. Bottom of your computer. We don't see that.
I'm going at the bottom now.
Okay, this see, you have already highlighted the prostate cancer part 2 PowerPoint.
Yep.
That's why it's not opening. Just remove the stuff from there, come back there again and double click or right click so that you can open the folder. You can right click that folder, right click.
Right click, say open.
They're open.
So it's do you have 2 monitors or 1 monitor?
It's just one monitor, but it opens for me, but you guys cannot see
Oh,
it.
you can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's focusing on your desktop instead of that program. Let me think.
I think if you can share your entire window, and then from your window, then you can select the PowerPoint.
Yes,
If
yes, yes.
this one is not working, if it's not, just share your entire window, and then from your window, your desktop window, then you can go open the PowerPoint slide.
It's
So
from
stop
her
stop
sharing.
sharing.
It's from
Stop
her
sharing.
sharing selection. It's from her sharing selection. So you not
Yeah.
select the entire window.
So stop sharing and then share. When it says what, select window.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. It's not going.
But I don't know why it's only showing for me and you guys are not seeing it.
The other alternative is for you to do it on your side. We'll just listen.
Oh my God. All right.
May not be something, maybe there are some aspects that is, but visually it's helpful to understand when she's explaining. So I don't know why it's not coming on, but it says I have checked on multiple sharing. So the issue is not that you cannot share. The issue is it will not come on. So I don't know what function that is not permitting the slide to come on. Did you try to share your entire window? Just completely get out, stop sharing, get out, take share and select entire window. Because if your entire window comes on and then you're able to select it, then maybe that will be helpful. And make sure you don't have multiple windows open in the background running as well.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think I do. I'm trying to make sure that I don't have other things open.
Okay. Okay. Our queen, Dr. Benny, has somewhere to be at the top of the hour now. So she is extending greetings and Sunday greetings, farewell to us who are still here. Thank you, Queen, for all you have been doing in the background. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Thank you as always.
All right. I guess I'm just gonna talk.
I see your screen is up now, but we see you're trading.
my tickets that I was looking for to buy. Sorry.
All right, then from there, you can just, at the bottom of your own screen now, go to where the PowerPoint slide are and you open it. We can see your
but that's what I did. So can you see it now?
No, you are showing your Windows, your Windows screen is still the trading screen. Okay, is it in your email?
No.
So you need to go to your desktop or the folder where you saved it. Okay. All right. Yep, you're closing that. The folder where you saved the PowerPoint.
Okay, people, sorry. Ooh.
Okay. Now
You see the arrow, you see the star, and the one you open, the one that's white on the top board. You see the one white. If you close it and you keep closing it, the main one will come up. Close that one. The one that's white on the top. Yep. The one that we're looking at now. If you close it, something else will come up. So yeah, close that one there, right there. Okay. Okay. Close that one too. The one, since it's not the one you want, just close it. Anyone we don't want, close it. Eventually, it will be that one that you need. Close this one too. You don't need it. Just click the X to get out. Right there.
Close that.
Okay.
Close.
So, close that too.
Okay.
All right. Do you see this?
Nope, not yet. Everything's gone. So now we share again. Stop sharing and then share again. Eventually, we'll have only one Windows, and then we will see.
Is it from Mac?
Yeah.
You're trying to open it from your Mac.
It's from my Mac.
Yeah, the last time it went through straightforward. It wasn't this complicated.
Yeah, because you opened only one Windows. Now there are so many windows open.
Okay.
And when there are many windows open, anyone can take priority. But if you close every other window except that one, then that's what we can see.
All right. For me to take too much time, I'm just gonna talk while you guys listen. I'm trying to share my screen, baby, and it's
Click on this.
I did. So I click on there, but it has all of that. But I need to share it from here.
What are you sharing?
I need to share this.
Okay, open what you're sharing first.
This.
Okay, open it. And then go back to
Zoom.
And go to share. And then click on that.
Oh, now you're coming.
There
Oh,
we go.
And then click on.
Okay, I'm just gonna do slideshow.
Yeah.
Yep, at the bottom.
Good.
Okay.
How is that? Oh my God. I don't know. See, I do Teams all the time. Zoom. All right. Okay. Some of these things I'm not even gonna pay much attention to because we talked about last week. Okay. So I just wanted to explain again what prostate cancer is. As we all know, it is a disease or cancer that affects the prostate. Okay. I know last week we had gone to I know we talked a little bit about signs and symptoms last time. So the signs and symptoms of prostate cancer are not really like specific to prostate cancer because if you have
and it's never a matriarch.
If you actually just have a prostate enlargement, which is not cancer, you can still have these symptoms. Or if you have some kind of infection of the prostate gland, you can still have some of these symptoms. So these symptoms also, or what generally symptoms are just like an alert, letting you and the doctors know that something is not right, and then further investigation is done. So you can get a weak flow of urine. You can get frequent urination, so you go to the bathroom almost every hour or every 2 hours or more frequent, a couple of times a day more than what you normally will be. And then you have trouble starting a flow of urine. So you will feel like you need to go to the bathroom to go pee, and then you get to pee and you will stand there for a while before you actually before the urine actually start running. And then trouble emptying your bladder completely. You will pee and the urine stops, but you still feel like there's something in your bladder. Not even just feeling like the urine is not completely empty. or you can get a weak or interrupted flow of urine. So these are just some of the symptoms that you will get for prostate cancer. And then once the prostate cancer is actually detected, some of the symptoms that you will get will be pain. And usually, where like last time I showed where the prostate is right behind or right in front of your rectum. And so that's why they can do rectal exam to locate or to touch. The doctors will do a rectal exam to see if something is wrong with your prostate. But you'll get this pain, and this pain will not, you'll be thinking that you'll get some kind of lower abdominal pain, but generally this pain will be referred to the back. So you'll get back pain or pain in your hips or like general pain in your pelvis. It will not be like a specific spot that you can point to. So when you start getting all those vague symptoms, like you're getting back pain or waist pain or hip pain, don't just ignore it thinking that, oh, maybe it's my hip or just let the doctors check it, make sure that it is nothing else but some kind of inflammation. You can get shortness of breath. Usually shortness of breath will come when the cancer has actually spread to other parts, including your lungs. But you generally feel very tired as compared to what you normally will be. Like people who work do some hard labor, you won't be able to do it. Or when you do it, you feel so tired at the end of the day. You can get a fast heartbeat, you can get dizziness or pale skin that is caused by anemia. So one of the things with cancer is that it overworks your body, that you really your white count, no, actually your blood count usually run low, so your hemoglobin will be very low and people will look pale. Like if you look at your conjunctiva, like how you can pull your eyelid down, you can see that your conjunctiva is not pink like it normally it would be, it is pale. That is showing that you are anemic. That really is not specific for prostate cancer though, but if you're already having all those other symptoms, then that would be one of the reasons why your conjunctiva is pale. And then the diagnosis. These diagnoses that I have listed here are the things that they can do. They don't do all of them for you, but these are the options that they have. So the doctor might do one of these in addition to the PSA or the rectal exam. They can do one of these. But the thing that really confirms that you have a prostate cancer is number 6, which is the biopsy. So they can do the digital exam, they can do the PSA, the prostate specific antigen. That's what PSA is. They can do a PET scan. That PET scan will show, usually the PET scan will show the spots that have the cancer cells. So if it's your prostate, then you will see that your prostate will be hot on the PET scan, or will light up, or be red, whatever you want to call it. And then they can also do a transrectal ultrasound. So like I said, the prostate is right in front of the rectum. So they will insert a machine through your rectum and do an ultrasound. And that ultrasound can send back sounds that are indicating that your prostate is bigger or is abnormal. They can do MRIs. Most of the MRIs I would do specifically for prostate would be transrectal. So everything is through the rectum because that's where the prostate is. So it's easy to get closer to it to do any of these tests. But the test that will really show that you have prostate cancer will be a biopsy. They will do, they'll take a piece of tissue from your prostate. So they have different ways of doing prostate biopsy. In the past, they would just do blind puncture, and so they will puncture your prostate like 10 different areas or 12 different angles to look, because they cannot specifically go in to target a specific spot that has the cancer. But today, there are so many ways of actually just looking at where there's an abnormal spot and biopsy that. All right. So once they do the biopsy, they will give a grade to it. They'll give a grade to the cancer that you have. So if cancer is found, the pathologist will give the cancer a grade. The grade of the cancer describes how abnormal the cancer cells look like under the microscope. And the grade of the cancer is called Gleason. So you'll hear that somebody that has prostate cancer, they'll tell that they went and did a biopsy and they gave me a grade, and they'll say, oh, I have a Gleason score of 7 or Gleason score of 8 or 10, whichever. So that score gives an idea of how bad that cancer will be. I want to put it in a layman's term. So the higher the score, the aggressive the cancer is. And the lower the score, the less aggressive the cancer is. So they'll give you a score of, say, 7, which is medium. Anything below 7 is low grade. 6 and below is low grade. 7 is medium. And then 8, 9, or 10 is high grade or aggressive. And then they give a grade, and they also give a stage. So they stage the cancer, like I'm sure you have heard, oh, that somebody has breast cancer, stage 1 breast cancer, or stage 4 breast cancer, or whatever. So prostate cancer is a little different from the way they score it. So they give the Gleason score, and they also give a stage. And so the grade the grade group and PSA levels are used to stage cancer, to stage prostate cancer. So you have a stage 1, which is cancer that is found in the prostate only. And then you have a stage 2. The cancer is still in the prostate only. It hasn't gone out, but it's a little bigger than what a stage 1 would look like. And then stage 3 is the cancer is in the prostate, and it has also spread to nearby organs. Maybe it can just be somewhere in the rectum or other organs close by to the prostate. And then stage 5 has different ways of scoring it. So the cancer is found in one or both sides of the prostate. So this prostate is like, because the urethra passes in between, so they have the left and the right side. So stage 5A will be that this cancer is, so the lesion is bigger and is involving both sides, the A and B, and also nearby organs. And then stage 5B, it is in both sides and in nearby organs, and it has also spread to the bones. So all of this just tells you how severe the cancer is. So treatment, like I said, the good thing with prostate cancer is that prostate cancer has a lot of treatment options. But regardless, cancer is cancer. So those treatment options that you have will make sense if they caught the cancer early. So even though prostate cancer has a lot of treatment options, if they found it late, when it has overwhelmed your body, when it's in neighboring organs, when it is in the bones, and sometimes it's not just the pelvic bone, it might be in the pelvic bones, it might be in your spine. So that way, even regardless of the many treatment options, it is not very helpful for you because it might not work because the cancer has gone too far. So your best bet is to catch it early. If they catch it early, trust me, it will be an easy thing to treat. It's not like ovarian cancer in women that even when they catch it early and treat it, there is no guarantee that it will not come back. But prostate cancer, if you catch it early and treat it, the person can survive and will be a prostate cancer survivor for life. So here are the different types of standard. I put it standard treatment because we also have treatments that are really working, but they're still in the clinical trial. So those medications have not been approved by the FDA yet. But those that are known, that have been approved and they are using now, that's what I have in this page. So we have what we call watchful waiting or active surveillance. So they will actually find out that you have prostate cancer, and depending on your age, sometimes I feel like it's better to just leave, watch and wait than to do surgery for you, because, or than to do some kind of treatment, because you might have side effects that would be worse than just having the cancer in you and let it take a course. Watchful waiting is also if you have one of those low grade scores. So anything 0 to 5, depending on your age, they can just watch and wait. You might have a 5, which, well, the reason for that is because prostate cancer can be very slow growing. So if somebody is 70 and they diagnose them with the prostate cancer, they have a score of, say, 1 to 5. Instead of putting them through chemotherapy and surgery and all of that, they'll just watch and wait. It might take 20 years or more before that cancer can actually grow to a point where it will cause problems. So if somebody is 70 and they have that, say in the next 20 years, they will be 90. Well, there's no point bothering them to do any kind of treatment, to put them through chemo, to do surgery or radiation, because they will still live a good life, watching and waiting without having to go through treatment. So the thing with watch and wait is that you will be actively monitored. That's active surveillance. They will check your PSA every so often. They will do scans every so often to make sure that this thing is not growing faster than the doctors think, because I mean, they are not God. They can't tell how fast this will grow. They will also monitor you to see if you're having symptoms. So if it's there and it's growing slowly and you are not having any issues like with frequent urination or pain or anything, they'll just watch and wait. They can also do surgery and just remove the prostate, or they can do radiation therapy or radiopharmaceutical therapy, which I will explain that later. They can do hormone therapy, they can do chemotherapy, they can do some kind of targeted therapy, immunotherapy. Like I said, there are so many treatment options. And then, like I said, these treatment options also can be a little different if you now have this cancer that has gone to the bones. So there are new types of treatments that are still being tested in clinical trials. And these treatments have worked. They are working, but you have to go through that process of clinical trial, make sure that they find out what the side effects of the new medications are and all that before they can be approved by the FDA. So you have what they call cryosurgery or cryotherapy, and it's a treatment that uses an instrument that will just freeze or destroy the prostate cancer cells. That one is still in clinical trial. It hasn't been approved yet, because usually what they do is when they treat people with this new medication or new technology, they have to let those people go through like maybe 5-10 years to see if there are any side effects, if anything abnormal happens after they get that treatment, anything that would be worse than having the cancer. So you have to weigh the positive and negative effects of that treatment. There is this high intensity focus ultrasound therapy that they will actually just focus it on the prostate itself, and it would destroy the cancer cells. That is still in clinical trial. And then they have the proton beam radiation therapy. I'm sure you have heard them advertising proton therapy for other types of cancer on TV. So those cancers, proton therapy has proven good for them, but they are still trying that technology for prostate cancer. So it's still in clinical trial. And then you have the photodynamic therapy, which is treatment that uses drug and certain types of laser light to kill the cancer cells. So patients who take part in clinical trial also help improve the way cancer will be treated in the future. So that's what I was trying to say, that if you are diagnosed with prostate cancer and you decide that you're going to go the clinical trial way, it will work for you or it might work for you, but then it helps the people, it helps for the future. So like the treatments that we have today, the chemotherapy and the radiation therapies and all that they were doing today, they were at some point in clinical trials and people offered to do that clinical trial so that it will help people for the future. So most of those people, all of those people that took part in the chemotherapies and those things in the days are not alive today. But do you know that treatment is still continuing because of what they did, that they offered to be used or clinical trials so that it will help people in the future. So even when clinical trials do not lead to effective new treatments, they often answer important questions. So sometimes they will give you this treatment, and then if it doesn't work or if that drug never gets approved, it gives the scientists the reason why it did not work. They learn a lot from what prostate cancer is doing, because when they are doing that clinical trial, they usually they look at what happens with your blood, they look at what happens in the architecture of the prostate and even the cancer cells, and they can now understand that, oh, this cancer cell has some proteins that this did not work because this protein was standing in the way. And so now they know that there is a protein in those cells that can be an obstacle for treatment of cancer. And then they will furthermore study how they can destroy that protein. So even if that drug is never approved, it has given the scientists room for them to study more, to learn more about the prostate and also prostate cancer. So that's pretty much what I have for you today. I did not really specifically tell you the different drugs and all whatnot that they use for these treatments because there are so many of them. But I just wanted for you to know that you can do surgery, you can do radiation therapy, you can do pharmaceutical, and that pharmaceutical therapy is giving you a radioactive drug like as an IV or an IV push. So they give it into your blood and then it goes around and it looks for abnormal cells, including the prostate cancer cells. So that's what radiopharmaceutical is, because I'm sure somebody probably wonders what that is. Hormone therapy is what feeds the cells when you have prostate cancer, is the progesterone, the hormones, the male hormones that the body produces is what feeds those cancer cells. So when they say hormone therapy, they give you something that antagonizes those hormones in your body. So something that will interfere with the production or actually destroy the hormones that the male body produces so that it will not feed those cells and then the cells will die. Or they give you chemotherapy. As we all know, we know chemotherapy that will go in and destroy. The thing with chemotherapy is that chemotherapy destroys all actively growing cells in your body. So that's why when you're taking chemotherapy, your hair falls off. Sometimes you have sores in your mouth, you have diarrhea, you probably will lose your nails or the nails will change color because these are cells in your body that grow rapidly. So when you take chemotherapy, in as much as it goes and is killing the cancer cells, it also kills the cells that are normal to your body, but they also reproduce rapidly. Chemotherapy is not able to selectively choose only the cancer cells. It kills all rapidly reproducing cells in your body. So that's why when you have chemotherapy, I mean, people really go through a lot when they get chemotherapy. There are targeted therapies that will, they call them targeted because they target certain cells. So once you have cancer cells, these cells are abnormal. So their DNA is abnormal. It's not like the DNA of a normal cell in your body. And so they will give some therapies or drugs that will look for cells that are DNAs are abnormal and they will destroy those cells. So that's why they call it targeted, because it targets specific kinds of cells. Then you have immunotherapy. Immunotherapy has been a big thing for the last couple of years. What immunotherapy does is that it it activates and boosts up your own immunity, because when I can say that almost all of us at some point produce some kind of cancer cells in our bodies. But we do have immune system. The immune system will look at those cells that are abnormal, anything that is abnormal, and they will catch it and they will destroy it. People that actually then get to getting cancer is that those cancer cells grow too rapidly and overwhelm their immune system, that their immunity cannot destroy those abnormal cells, and then they grow now to a full-blown cancer. I'll call it full-blown. But so what immunotherapy does is it will boost your own immunity. It will and they have different types of immune therapies depending on what they're doing in your body, but they will increase the strength of your T cells or your immune cells to attack cancer cells. So that's what immunotherapy does. And then I told you about the what else would I say? I think that's pretty much it. And then I told you about all these ones that are still in clinical trials. We're hoping that what clinical trial is doing today is that they are not really working on chemotherapy specifically anymore. I mean, they're still doing some chemotherapies in clinical trials, but they see that chemotherapies, like I said, they don't selectively look for cancer cells. So what they are doing today are doing specific treatments that will specifically target cancer cells. Treatments that can go specifically to the organ that has the abnormal cells. So like you see all this cryotherapy, it will actually just work to freeze the cells in the prostate, not the cells in your entire body or actively reproducing cells in your body. Same thing with the high intensity ultrasound. They specifically target it and they put it where the prostate is so that it will only attack those cells in the prostate. So that's the new thing in clinical trials today. They are more target focused instead of just giving a generalized treatment like what they did in the past doing chemotherapies. So if you want to look where I got my information, these are the references. That's where I got the information. So, all right, I will stop sharing and I will answer any questions.
Wow. Queen Sister Irene.
All right.
What a powerful presentation you have brought to us one more time on Know Your Body. This is information that if we were supposed to go and get this information, we will be asked to pay for it before we receive it. But yet, you have come to provide us with this information to educate us, to bring the awareness of what is out there, what is happening. We may know someone who knows someone who may be going through these challenges in life. Oh my gosh, I cannot even try to summarize it, but I will leave your words be your words, and I will wait for everyone who heard you. Let me hear if you have any questions or any comments to put them in the chat, what you have to say, as we allow some time for our guest speaker to get a sip of water, to, take a deep breath, and then before she gets ready to answer our question. But what I must say is, I think from her presentation, I can see and appreciate and understand the progress made in terms of the treatment plan. She talked about targeted, focused treatment when it comes to prostate cancer. And that is really something to celebrate because it reduces how much more in terms of the complications, which we all know for those that have had anyone that has gone through chemotherapy. And to me, I think medically, if all other treatments that we have or any other treatment that has to do with cancer can be more targeted focus, I think it will really be great. And I hope that Queen Irene, as we move to the next session or whatever next topic you may want to address, you will continue to provide and share with us more information on this topic. But I am curious, my question is, all the treatment options that you've given, I realize that they are still more on the pharmaceutical, the chemicals, or the hormones. Are there anyone in the pipeline? You talked about other treatment options that are still in the pipeline. Are there any that are oriented towards incorporating natural treatments? That would be a question when you are ready, you can come back and shed more light to us.
I'm here, so I'm here in the US, so not in the US. I am not aware of, there might be, and I'm probably not aware of anything that is targeted towards natural therapies, like herbs and all that. I don't know. But what I know is like some of the things that I shared there is more doing chemicals or using devices like the ultrasounds and the radiation, but I am not aware of any other kinds of treatments that they are working on. There might be, but I haven't seen it or haven't read anything about.
Okay. All
But
right.
I think I've heard other people go to like outside of the US to get some of those things, like even just nearby to Mexico or even India and all that. I know people that have gone there and they're doing natural herbs. I know someone that has that is doing that, but he was already on the low grade, that he was on the watch and wait. Well, I mean, he is young, they shouldn't have done watch and wait for him, but he wanted to do that, and then he's doing all these other things that he gets from Mexico. And so far his PSA has been on the low side. He's done scans every frequently and nothing is moving. So he's going to be one of those that I'm going to see what the natural herbs does.
Wow, I think that would really be something to look forward to of I mean, what happens when you incorporate both treatment options, because and of course you need the medical for once the diagnosis has been established or everything for you to know your course of treatment. But then, like you said, you need to know the people in the community, or you need to know where you want to get the treatment if you choose to try the natural. I have heard that it is out there, but it's just something that is not, the information is not out there in the public as of what I know. So maybe that is something that will be really educational if one gets to know more about those options. So
Yeah. So yeah, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, but so today, especially here in the US, they go with this evidence-based kind of treatment. So those things are there, but because they are not evidence-based, there's really nothing to prove that this will work. People are saying it, some people have tried it, but because they haven't done it like on a large scale, like clinical trials, usually clinical trials, they will start with a small group. So they'll start with like a phase 1, which is they discover a molecule in the lab that they have used on animals, and they see that this molecule can destroy cancer cells, and then they develop that molecule and they do a phase 1. So phase 1 usually is not really curative intent. It's more to see if humans can tolerate that new molecule. So we'll do a phase 1 and they will give a small dose, and they'll give a small dose to a small number of people. If they tolerate it, don't have side effects, then they increase the dose and give it again to a small number of people. And if they do okay, they will increase the dose until they get to what they call a maximum tolerable dose. That MTD is where they will say, okay, this is the maximum. So they determine maximum by if they gave 50 milligrams to a group of people and they did okay, and then they increase it to 75, and they see that 75, that dose of 75 caused toxicity in the patients, then they will step back to 50. So 50 now will be considered the maximum tolerable dose. So at that time, they have just determined the dose. And then they will now go now with curative intentions. So if we give this drug every month or every 2 weeks, or whatever that time frame is, they'll also now do a group of people. That will not be phase 2. And then if they see that it's working, they usually give a percentage, like if there's activity just means that it has killed some of the cells. So somebody had, usually in a clinical trial, they will pick out some tumors and they will actually measure them. They'll be measuring the diameters. So if they give this maximum tolerable dose and they pick out lesions in the patients and they give them and they see that the lesions reduce by 25%, 30%, or some are gone, or new ones didn't come, then that's when they will advance to another stage. So it takes about 10 years to at least get to a point where they can think that, okay, this drug, we need to ask FDA for approval. But when
Right.
you get it like that, if they only did it in a region in the United States, say we're doing it here in Maryland and we're doing all the people in the US, they usually do an international trial, which means they will now include people in Europe, Asia, Africa, to see, does it work in every zone? Does it work in men of all races, age and all that. So that's why those things that I showed you, they are still in clinical trial, because they will start in a region and then they will or they'll start in a region, but they'll do a group of people and then they gradually increase until they get to a point where they will do it worldwide and then it gets approved. So treatments now, they say, is evidence-based. So they want to say that, well, the evidence shows that it works in 50%, it works in this. So if they don't do that with the herbs, they're not going to say that they are there, but they are surely there, because there are some people, or there are some third world countries that you probably don't see a lot of people dying from prostate cancer and all that, because they have things that they drink and they work.
Right.
But because it's not evidence-based, they're not going to say that they're out there working. Also, now you can't determine the dose, right? Because, you boil a big pot. When you boil it the first time, it's very concentrated, but you go a couple of days, it's not as concentrated as day 1. So there's no dosage. You don't know what side effects it causes, because these people are not being followed to see when they drink it, does it now affect their liver, or does it affect, other parts of other organs? Those things are not being done. So that's why I'm saying that I don't know of any out there that are really like approved to be used, but I believe that there are things out there people are taking and they're probably working. They're just not evidence-based.
That is so true. I'm just thinking of the traditional herbs we take that we boil, and like you said, you boil and you keep boiling, you drink, it's working, and you just keep.
Yeah, you'll get some herbs, you boil for a whole week, I don't think that by the end of the week, the dose is not the same like when you started on day one.
Absolutely. It cannot be the same because as the concentration reduces, so I mean the strength also from the beginning is strong, but it reduces as the days go by. So yeah,
Right.
absolutely right. Okay. Well, wow, thank you. I can see King Joseph, your hand is raised, and I think I also saw Pastor Shaggy. So let's go with Joseph. Please proceed with your question.
Um, I don't think it's actually a question. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you.
Good. The last time I'm one of those who asked you to give us maybe some of the viruses or bacteria that were
Oh,
causing, and I know you forgot about that. That's okay. Um,
right.
I really, really, really appreciate the way you've taken uh, to to bring this topic to us, because you see, treatment is faith. As we listened to faith today from our sister Lerato, treatment, you have to have faith in whom you are talking. And secondly, have the trust in the person with whom you are talking. The way you are putting it to us here is not the way some people give it to you when you go to the hospital. First of all, when you go to the hospital, you are tense. You don't know what you are going to go through. You don't know.
Right.
And to be very honest with you, I feel sitting face to face with the somebody like you, like I will say, to discuss, because what you are telling us we are discussing. You are not like, I come in today, you say you must start chemo tomorrow or you will die the next day.
Mm-hmm.
You just made a statement here that I have heard it for the first time in the whole time that I have worked in that department, of that you can live with it for 20 years if you're in the watch. But most of that area is telling you if you have 3 months, you have this, you have that. And when I continue to come back to you, could you enlighten us on what is the cause, what is the virus, what is this? I am trying to let us understand that just like mosquitoes give us malaria, cancer is given by something. And that something, as you used a word which I've never heard from any cancer doctor, oncologist, that you can kill the virus or you can kill this. Very few. The way they give it to you is what helps to kill. I have a lady who is working with my daughter. They just diagnosed her with breast cancer. And the way the doctor gave it to her, she resigned and she says, I just have to go stay and die because I will not go through chemo. You are giving us some other methods of treatment here that how many oncologists are open to giving that to people? You might be able, what you are doing, I'm just like telling you my mind that the way you put it, if anybody leaves from here and goes and he has any problem, without following the instructions that you have given us, it's quite different. Um, for the natural products, the herbs that we are living in a society, we are living in an area where, first of all, it's not accepted. You cannot patent those herbs. And when you cannot patent them, secondly, you have to go through those trials, which if I have a herb, for example, that I'm using, and I want to help somebody with it, um, it's first of all called, you are called a quack. Just like, just like you rightly say, in the third world countries and so forth, there are people who are using those herbs and they succeed in one way or the other. You come to the dose. Let me ask you this. How many times have you eaten dole in your house? Do you calculate those when you are eating dole? No.
No.
Good. I like the dose. I'm not saying that overdose is good, but people, when you are taking herbs, you should not be taking them because it's medicine. Herbs are food. They're supposed to be taken like food. They're not supposed to be taken like drinking it because of this. And the idea that you cook it and keep it for this number of days and the strength is reducing, I think if I were going to give a herb to somebody, I will tell that person, boil and drink it for 2 days, and then you will boil it and drink for 2 days. You don't need to. And you have to do it for 2 weeks and stop. Let that one clear from your kidneys and your liver before you go ahead and take it again. So I'm not saying that the chemo, well, the chemo, so many people do not support it. When you see men, I am talking as a man, when you see men saying that I will not go there, it's because a number of them have gone with the chemo and never succeeded. Yeah, they go at a late stage. That is true. They go at a late stage and they never succeed. So any other person who hears, oh, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, whether it's early or not, just the idea in the head that some other person had it, you don't know the stage that the person was in it, but you are now diagnosed with it. If I go for that chemo, it will also do the same like it happened to the other person. So I am encouraging those men who are with us here. Let us do the diagnosis. Do the diagnosis. Just like you say, I know a good number of people that are here who were diagnosed with prostate cancer. I'm the one who asked you about the PST last time.
Okay.
Yeah, because I told you somebody had it, went up to 7, went up to 12, and then came back. And some other person had it 4 and went back to 3. I think we discussed that last time. It is good to go and do the diagnosis. And I appreciate so much the way you have put it to us. This information is power. This knowledge that you have given us is power. And I thank God that we belong to this group and we are able to get it. There are a lot of people who will not want to go do the test, but we will help. We will try from what you have given us. We never had somebody like you who gave this information before. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm asking you this question. If you had a leaf that somebody uses and it is working in a third world country, will you like to use it? Will you like to apply it to ask somebody to take it, not you using it? I'm sorry.
Well, if it works, I don't know. I think I'll leave that to the individuals. But like I said, there are treatments today that do not really have a lot of side effects like in the past, like chemotherapy. So the only time, well, let me take that back. It all depends on the doctors and all that. But then the thing here is that you have to be knowledgeable. If you know this information, when you sit in front of your doctor and you discuss, the doctors will know that you know, and they will know how to behave. Why? Because today's system, well, in the United States, it's now hospitals, they do this thing that they call managed care, and payment is according to what they do for you, and they will give you these things not really because that is what you really needed, but because that's what they will make money out of it. But then if you know your stuff, because these things you cannot get them, you cannot just go to the market and buy. A doctor has to prescribe for you. If you have that information, if he knows that you are knowledgeable, he will follow these routes that are explained. So the first thing is that you need to know your Gleason score. So if I have a Gleason score of 5, 4, 3, 2, there is that watch and wait. Like I said, prostate cancer in that stage can actually be very slow growing, that you actually die from something else other than the prostate cancer. The only thing that I call it watch and wait or active surveillance is because now something triggered them to do that check and they see that you have that low growing cancer. So, but they cannot tell what it will do. It can be Gleason 5, and then maybe in another 1, 2, 3, 5 years, that score changes to a 7 or to an 8. Okay, when you have an 8, 9, or 10, that is not a time for you to start thinking, should I or should I not take treatment? You definitely have to, because that is an aggressive form of the prostate cancer that can quickly grow, overwhelm your prostate, and spread to other parts of your body. And when that happens, it's difficult to treat. Generally, once you have an aggressive form of prostate cancer, it is very difficult to treat. And so you have to be on top of it. A drug that really works, like I said, hormone therapy works a lot. The problem with men is that it will cause you a temporary impotence. And men don't want to be impotent. They feel like they're not men anymore. Well, but I don't think, like you said, they don't sit with the doctors. They explain to them that you have what they call chemical impotence, is basically what it is. They give you drugs that will antagonize the hormones in your body that will make you look like a man. But it's temporary. Once those cancer cells are gone and they see that the cancer is off and they stop giving you those chemicals, you return to where you were. Okay. So it would be maybe a year of chemical impotence, maybe a year and a half. It depends on how long that takes to work for you. But once they stop giving you that chemical, your body starts producing it. So what it does is it doesn't even stop your body from producing this. Your body still produces the hormones, but they give you an antagonizer. So they give you something that will destroy it, that will interact with the hormones in your body and destroy interfere with its effects. When they stop giving you that chemical, your body continues to produce the hormones, and then there's no antagonist anymore. And then you go back to where you were, but then the cancer cells are gone. And then at that time, they monitor you. But because no one really sits to explain it like that to the men, once they start taking it and they can't get an erection or anything, they're like, ooh, I don't want this. I better die. Well, it's temporary.
Right.
So, but they don't tell this to them. And just so that person goes and tells their friend and tells the next friend and tells the next friend. And so when that friend hears that, oh, I have prostate cancer, oh, they're going to give me these things, they're going to cause me impotence, they're not going to go for treatment. So anyway, like I said, in clinical trials, they are trying to now get things that should not interfere that way. So, well, they have immunotherapies today. The thing with immunotherapy is that, like I said, they give you this it's supposed to boost your own immunity. So it is not quick working. It takes a while for them to give you, and your body builds its own immunity. So they don't give it for someone who has an aggressive form of cancer, because by the time your body is, it's like you have 50 cells of 50 T cells, and then they give you this chemical, and that cancer needs 5,000 T cells to overcome it. You only have 50. By the time your body will go through its cell cycles to reproduce those T cells to get to that level that is going to be effective in an aggressive form of cancer, it is too slow. So immunotherapy works, but then it also depends on your Gleason score and also how bad your cancer is. If it's still just located in the prostate, or is it on both sides of the prostate, or is it outside of the prostate? Those are some of the things that determine some of these medicines that don't have much of side effects. Immunotherapies don't really have a lot of side effects, but when they have to have side effects, they can actually be deadly. So you give you a drug that boosts up your immunity to attack cancer cells. Sometimes your immunity gets overactive and it attacks everything. So it will attack your thyroid, it will attack your lungs. If you heard about pneumonitis that is being caused by immunotherapy, or if you heard about thyroiditis and all of that. So it will either hypothyroidism, so it suppresses your thyroid from producing the thyroid hormone, and or it will attack your GI, and then you have some kind of GI issues. That is the one thing with immunotherapies. They really don't have much of any side effects, but when they do have side effects, they can really like kill you, because now it's engineered your body to attack your body. But they do work. But it also would depend on how bad your cancer is for them to give you immunotherapy. And then they have those targeted drugs that they will give you that will look specifically for cells that have abnormal DNA or destroyed DNA. So DNA has a chain that is, is wound around itself or whatever. There might be breaks somewhere. And so these targeted therapies go looking for those cells that their DNA has breaks or has switches or something, and they'll destroy. Okay, those ones will help if they are specifically for that. So there are a lot of treatments, but then you need to know these things. So when you sit in front of your doctor, you need to ask, what can I try immunotherapy? Am I not a good candidate for immunotherapy? Am I a good candidate for targeted therapy? So like PAP, so they have, well, I don't want to start saying all these, and then I have to start explaining all of them.
Yeah,
But
thank
if
you.
you know,
That's a lot. Yeah.
if you know those things and you ask, so things like this that we're talking here is something for you to give you an alert to have an idea. You can ask the doctor, can I do cryotherapy? Can I do clinical trials? So saying that, there is this website is called clinicaltrials.gov. Clinicaltrials.gov. So if you go to your doctor and they say, oh, you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, go to clinicaltrials.gov and see what options they have for the type of cancer that you have. So breast cancer, colon cancer, whatever cancer, because not all of them have things that are going on in clinical trials. But you go on that website and it will give you all the clinical trials in the US and actually worldwide. So if you have money and you want to go to Japan or you want to go to India, wherever, those treatments will be listed in clinicaltrial.gov. And you can look for trials. Also, clinical trials are things that you can do. So if you're diagnosed or you're having chemotherapy and you are tired and you are exhausted, you can get a chemotherapy break and enroll in a clinical trial, knowing that you still have that option to go back to do chemotherapy if clinical trial doesn't work for you. So people usually just do chemo sparing time to do clinical trials, and so they can come and try those treatments that are still in clinical trials, and they work for some people. I have a couple of friends that they've been treated at NIH where I work in clinical trial, and it worked for them and they didn't have to go through chemotherapy. So those are some of the things but you know that you have that option. If you try clinical trial and it doesn't work, you know that you can fall back to chemo. But during that time that you're doing clinical trials, you have had time to rest from chemotherapy. you've had let your bone marrow, because usually your bone marrow is what is hit hard, because your bone marrow is what produces your blood cells and all kinds of cells in your body. And since chemo goes to those areas that they are rapidly reproducing cells, they usually hit your bone marrow so hard that you see people get so anemic, you see people go so cachectic, dry, and when they're getting chemotherapy, because these chemos do not spare even normal cells in your body. So you can get time off from chemotherapy and do some clinical trials and then go back to chemotherapy.
Thank you so much. Talking about bone marrow, what causes the enzymes in bone marrow to rise? You say in children, theirs are supposed to be high, but at a higher level when you are older.
Well, I mean, I don't know what enzymes you're talking about, but bone marrow produces the cells in your blood. So if you have a situation where the cells in your blood are more higher than, might be some kind of blood cancer. And it's just one of those things that you don't know what happened. Something went wrong, and the cells do not go through a cell cycle. So a cell cycle goes through like 3 stages. The cell is supposed to divide and form 2 daughter cells that are the same as the mother cell. All right. But something goes wrong during that cell cycle, and they skip a stage and produce a cell that is abnormal. But then the cells get, I don't know if they get drunk, and they just start flying.
Maybe they drink the wine that you drink.
They start multiplying faster than they're supposed to. And so you see that your white cell, one of these types of your white cell, your lymphocytes or something, they multiply faster than they're supposed to. And then you have this, what they call blood cancer, but you can never tell. But there are things that will predispose to that, but you don't know, you can never tell what causes blood cancer, just like any other cancer. And talking about viruses, I will have to find out. I don't think I'm aware of viruses that will cause prostate cancer.
Either parasites, viruses, fungi, or
yeah, so I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look in relation to prostate cancer, but I know other cancers that are caused by viruses, like anal cancer. Cancer of the anus is caused by a virus called HPV. Well, but not all of them are caused by HPV, but generally when somebody says that they have anal cancer or cervical cancer, those are caused generally by HPV. If you have liver cancer, those are caused by hepatitis. If you have heard about hepatitis A, hepatitis B, C, and all those ones will cause cancer of the liver. There are other cancers, like you have lymphomas. There are some lymphomas that are caused by a virus called EBV. EBV will cause that. But I don't want to give you false information.
No,
but I'm gonna look specifically for prostate cancer. Because there are some times that they will be like in clinical trials, they will want to treat prostate cancer if it's EBV positive, or so I will look. I'm not sure for prostate cancer, but I know about other cancers that if they are EBV positive or HPV or one of those viruses, they will treat them, directing that treatment towards that virus that caused it. But for some reason, I don't think I've read it or heard about prostate cancer. I'm not saying that it's not, but the next time I come, I will remember that.
One of the reasons why I even want us to know that is for people to be settled in their minds that there is a consequence for certain actions of ours. Right. And many of us, we've taken a lot of antibiotics, which some of those viruses or all that we want to treat, they become resistant to it and they become what they call superbugs.
Right.
And when that happens, you can actually be expecting certain things to happen if you cannot treat
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Yeah. So that is the reason, because a lot of people will not actually think that the way they tell you in the hospital, like I said the other time, you go to a herbalist or a herbalist back in the third world, he goes and takes a black bag and take the bone of a rat or come and point it at you and say you are now at the point of dying. That is exactly what the oncologist tells somebody sitting in front of you. Have cancer, you'll be dying in the next 3 days. And that is what kills people. People should learn to discuss with their doctors like we are talking. That is the first important thing that I wanted to add to what you have just presented, which is very important information that you have given us. Don't allow a doctor to force it on you. Discuss it with that doctor, and if possible, get a second opinion.
Get a second opinion. Very important. Thank you very much for that. Please get a second opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that you heard over the news somebody had been treating people for cancer and they didn't have cancer.
Yeah, that was in Georgia here.
It happens a lot, and even not only with cancer, but generally healthcare. So I know you've reminded us, Queen Irene, even in the past 5 series, of the importance of always getting a second opinion. So
Second opinion, very important.
So today again is another reinforcement of whatever the health issues you're going through. Once you visit your provider, always be informed. And thank you for the powerful presentation, because this is knowledge. This is our power. This is what you have with you. You take with you when you visit, and you can have and be your advocate for yourself and for your loved ones whenever you go there. So yes, thank you.
And please always do your research. You don't go to the doctor and just get in saying yes until you get out saying yes. Do your research when they give you a diagnosis. It is called Google. Google, read about it. Write things. Don't go to the doctor thinking you'll remember everything. Write your questions down, please. Write your questions down when you go to the doctor's office. If it's a doctor that is so impatient, doesn't want to sit and listen to you on your questions, you look for another one. You have to sit and you have to ask your questions, let them be answered. You have that right. And if you're not satisfied, you can always tell that doctor that, may I please have a second opinion. I know this is more in the US. I don't know about other countries. Unfortunately, other places, the doctors, they are the ones that have the superpowers. They don't want to listen. They don't want you to say you want a second opinion. But if you are in the Americas, you have the right for a second opinion. But your powers is your knowledge. Read, research. When you go and the doctor says you have this cancer, go to your phone. Now, everybody has a smartphone. Google that cancer, read about it, read the treatment options, read the side effects of the treatment. Even if you don't read it, when you go to the doctor, when they're telling you that, okay, you're going to get, what chemo am I going to get, sir? Because I've had people that tell me, oh, they diagnosed me with colon cancer. I take chemotherapy. What chemotherapy are you taking? They don't know the name of the drug. What? You're getting a chemo, you don't know the name? How can I help you? How can I tell what side effects you can have? How are you going to know what the next step is if you don't know what you're taking now? So you need to know. And when you go to the doctor, when they do lab tests and you ask for them to print them and give you, keep hard copies. You can always go and refer to, you can look, don't just say, yes, I have this. And they tell you, okay, we'll do this for you, you just agree. We'll do this for you, you just agree. You have to know the treatment options, know what you can take first. Because it will tell you the best treatment to start is with hormone therapy. And then if it doesn't work, then you can do targeted therapy. And then you can do chemotherapy. And then you can do this. You need to ask your doctor those questions. You need to know those things actually. When they know that you know, especially here in America, when they know that you know, they're going to be very careful because they know that you can sue them.
Well,
And you
they
can
told
stand them.
me one time
That's your
that I
power.
should never. I went sometime to see my wife was going to see her doctor. We went together, and I went in and I was asking those questions, and he told my wife never to bring me along again, and I changed him.
Yeah. Yeah,
I told him that's the last time I come with her to you. If you don't want to answer my questions, I'll look for another one. The next question I'm asking you is for a second opinion. Mostly, if you belong to a network where, like this network of doctors, or they are this, if you want to go for a second opinion, and those who are out of the network do not want to receive you, what do you do? Because when you go to a doctor in the same network, they will pull up your information and just start giving you the same thing the other person had given you.
So I think the only thing with outside network is not really that they will be refusing. It's just that the price is going to be different. You have to pay more copay than you would have if you are in network. So when you are asking to do a second opinion, just be ready to spend some extra money.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you're going to go in the same network, like if you say you're a MedStar, I'm giving an example of what we have in Maryland, and you want to go to another MedStar doctor, in a different hospital, it might work because I know that here somebody can go from Georgetown to Washington Hospital Center and see another doctor there. Those are two different hospitals. But because you are really knowledgeable, if you go to that other doctor in the same network and you see that they are just copying what the first person said, then you just let them know that this is what I already know. What else can you add?
Okay.
Yeah, you need to ask, what's the difference? What other tests can I do to confirm this? What other treatment options do I have other than chemotherapy? How about, because sometimes it also depends on the person's temperament and their knowledge. Not everybody is knowledgeable. Some of those people, even in the same network, are more knowledgeable than others. And if they're patient enough to listen to you, they will listen. But if you see that you also just met another crazy one like the first one that you have, okay, you might want to move on to another one. And then one other thing, somebody will say, oh, you're saying it because you work at the NIH. So NIH is the biggest research hospital in the world. It is federally owned, so it uses our tax money, those of us who are here in the US. So always try to go look for stuff on there. Tell your people, look to see what NIH has. So they have referral offices that you can just call a referral office and say, hey, I've been diagnosed with blah, 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 blah. Do you have any clinical trials going on? And they will tell you if they do. And all they will do is you send your records to them. They will look to see if it's something that they can treat. If it's something that they can treat, they will bring you in. These people, they'll pay you a flight to fly back and forth to come get treatment. The treatments are usually free. All their tests and everything are free. The only thing is that you might have to pay for your hotel. They do give you a stipend for hotels, because hotels around Maryland here where NIH is are pretty much expensive. They'll give you some money to offset how much you pay for hotel. If you have family that are around Maryland, you can live with family and go get your treatment. So those are places that you can also look. And then this place, they do They do, it's more like a teaching hospital, so they will explain a lot of things for you. That's what I do. I will sit down and explain things to the patients. And before you leave, you will have so much knowledge that you'll be wondering, why did I not know this place a long time ago? All right, so that's one thing that those of you who are still on here, 26 people, you've learned today. Because prior to me going to go work in that place, I did not know that they existed, but that's the best place I've ever been working as a nurse. So if ever you are diagnosed with cancer, you can look them up, call them, and tell them that I've been diagnosed with this cancer. Do you have any clinical trials going on? And they will tell you. And they will tell you what documents they need for you from your doctors to look to see if you qualify for that clinical trial. And you go on from there. And I am here. If you can reach me, please don't call me. Send me a text, because if I see a number and I don't recognize, I'm not going to answer the call. I get too many calls. Send me a text and say, hey, I'm this. I'm trying to get a clinical trial for this diagnosis. I can help.
For all types of cancers?
Well, yeah, we're going to try all types of cancers, but they don't do clinical trials for all types of cancers. So if you tell me what you have, I will look to see if we do have clinical trials. There are some cancers that I know that most of the colon and rectal cancers, there's not much going on those because they are very challenging. They're still doing a lot of things in the labs. But all other cancers, just let me know and I will look. I don't think I know all of what is going on, because there are more than 10,000 clinical trials going on at one time. I can't tell you what is going on, but if you text me, tell me what you have, I will look. I know people that I can send messages to them to ask to say, hey, do you have anything going on for this cancer? If they do, then we can get connected.
Thank you so much. I hope there are men on this call now who are listening to you, because this is information that you not get it anywhere.
And
thank you so much.
The prostate cancer department at the NIH is thumbs up. So let me know. Unless you have had so much out there that you don't qualify for their clinical trials, or if your bone marrow is not up to par, or if you had other complications that might eliminate you, because these are new things that they're trying on people. They usually would like for you to be at a certain standard for you to try these new drugs. But if you have not if you're not too sick and exhausted to come there, you will be happy.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, King Brother Joseph, for your question. Wow,
yeah, you have really asked a lot.
You have sparked a whole conversation, and I am sure everyone that is still on here has listened, tuned in, and learned a lot from that conversation. So hopefully, our sister has shared even a lot more than she prepared for us today. And even if you don't remember some of the terminology, or you do not understand the terminology or whatever she said, take your time, go back, listen, and get the best that you can get from it. There is so much that she has shared with us, and there is a lot that is going to be very, very helpful to all of us. And so please, this is powerful information for all of us. Thank you so much, Queen Irene. It feels like we rounded up already without officially saying we've come to the end of the conversation because of the questions that Brother Joseph was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it will just be for me to say we already entered into the Q&A almost partially without even officially getting into it, but because I thought the question was going to be something brief, that we were going to get into it. But hey, I mean, we allowed it flow so that everyone will be tuned in again. So thank you, thank you. Maybe what we are going to do is we'll just if you have like a closing remark word to give, then we will be able to allow you to do that once we just give a summary of our updates. And then if there are no Q&A in the chat, then we will just go ahead and allow you to give us your closing remark, and then we get finished for the webinar for today. But please, if you have questions or if you have your comments, if you are able to put it in the chat, go ahead and do that while we do a summary of our updates for today. So, and bear with me, I'm going to do it. I'm multitasking today, more than one. So it's going to be brief. And I think basically we know that we only get our updates from our CEO, Ash Mufare. And as of today that we are holding our webinar, the only updates we have is from our own news in our OES, in our ecosystem. Oh, sorry. Mama Edith, can you unmute? So let me do that. Okay, thank you. Yes, so I was saying our latest update is from our ecosystem O News 14. For those of us that have been able to go back and log in and read, please continue reading and be informed, be updated of what our CEO is saying. If you have not been able to do that, want to encourage you that go back, log into your ecosystem, and read what our CEO is telling us in our own news. And because that information has not been like, he has not come up on to tell us when our next live update will be, this is just like a summary. I'm just going to read, and for those that have not had the opportunity to go there, not my own words, I'm reading our CEO's words from O News 14. So if I say summary, please don't take that these are my words. These are our CEO's words from O News 14. So the updates, what he is telling us is that October 14, 2025, handling your record-breaking responses. So this is the response to our survey that we all completed for all of us, which has been exciting, which has been hopeful, and which has been promising. And we are all looking forward to the next step. So he says, first, a sincere thank you to everyone who submitted your Victory with Ash priority placement application. The response has been nothing short of outstanding. In fact, it has far exceeded every previous participation record, even beyond the remarkable results we saw in survey number 1 and survey number 2. We are both excited and humbled by your enthusiasm. The sheer number of applications has been extraordinary, and receiving them all with the care and respect they deserve is no small task. Please know that our team is working tirelessly to evaluate each submission with fairness, attention, and integrity. Your patience during this process is deeply appreciated. We are blessed with an extraordinary number of truly outstanding candidates, and we want to ensure that every application receives thoughtful consideration. So as soon as our initial selection are finalized, you will receive an email notification with your next step. Now, a few important clarifications. Victory with Ash signifies a new beginning, focus on responsibility and the future, distinct from the past organizational practices. So, as we have emphasized, therefore, victory with Ash is not a rehash of anything from our old past on passive. This is a new beginning, completely fresh, a new structure, purpose, and a way forward. So, any previous organizational hearsay, let me repeat that, any previous organizational hearsay or position will not apply here. The priority is centered on responsibility, not entitlement. Because again, what is past is of the past, and our eyes are set forward and our efforts are focused on the future. So looking forward, in the near future, we will be sharing more about the custom training programs that will be available with membership to Victory with Ash. These are not recycled motivational talks or generic online courses. They are highly quality practical skills building programs designed by the expert to help you grow, develop your business ability, and become the best possible version of yourself. So, thank you again for your patience, your trust, your continued faith in this shared vision. The journey is accelerating, and what's coming next will be worth your wait. So, I think that is what our CEO shared with us. So thank you for the overwhelming responses to the Victory with Ash placement application exceeding. Okay, yeah, we have read all of that. So yes, for more details, or if you need more time, or if you want to understand better, please go back to your ecosystem. O News number 14. That is where the updates are, and we wait for our CEO to be able to come on whenever that time is on our next live update and share more information with us. So thank you all, and that will be all for our updates for today.
All right.
Okay, all right, then switching gears right now. At this time, I am looking at the chat if there are no questions, which I don't see any at this time. Then we may want to ask our guest speaker for today to give us her closing remark, and we say goodbye for today.
Okay. So not much to say, except when we started this, what I said, and I'll continue to say it, is to know your body. If you know how your routine is, if you know how you feel, if you know how your body is, you can quickly pick something abnormal going on. If you know how many times you move your bowels every day, is it every other day? Is it daily? Is it twice a day? Is it usually soft or hard or what? If you know those things, how many times do I go to the bathroom? Do I get up at nighttime? If you never used to get up and then you start getting up at nighttime, something is not right. If you eat food, if you usually eat food and enjoy it and you're fine, then now you eat food, sometimes you get heartburn, you get abdominal discomforts, you get bloating, something is not right. When you go to the bathroom, don't just poop, get up and run like you went and threw something in the trash and coming back. You need to look because sometimes you might see things that are signs that you will miss if you just don't look. It's your own poop. Why don't you want to look? If you clean your butt, look at the paper tissue. Is there blood on it? Is it black? Is it green? Is it gray? Those are signs of something coming up. Normally, your stool should not be gray because you eat food that has color, it has oil, so your stool should not be looking gray like lack of oil or something. So if you see stuff like that, if you poop and your poop is floating at the top instead of sinking into the water, that's a sign of something. You watch those things and you keep a note. Did it happen 1, 2 times and then it went away and then came back after a month and then persisted? Or those are things that you need to, you can make a record if you think you will forget, but you can keep it in your mind. Oh, why am I stools like this? Why do I go to the bathroom so many times? Why do I pee stop and then pee again? Or why do I go to the bathroom and then come out and I feel like I didn't empty my bladder completely? Those are the things you need to know. Those things. Why do I feel so tired when I do a little work? When I used to clean my house, go to work, come back, clean, cook, and I'm still fine. Why do I get tired when I do just little things? That's your body giving you a message. So usually cancer doesn't just fall from the air. It takes a long time for it to start manifesting symptoms. But if you know your body, you will catch it at an early stage. Because usually by the time you start having symptoms from that cancer, it has grown to a level where it is now affecting your system. But it doesn't just come like that. It usually has some warnings that you just miss because you don't pay attention. Don't get too busy with life, forgetting to be busy with your own body, knowing what is going on. Don't just eat anything just because you're hungry. You have to eat healthy. If you love your body, you're not going to be putting anything in there that is going to be toxic or poisonous. So you need to know what you eat. And please, please do your yearly checkups. And when you get to that age where there are age-specific checkups that you need to do, colonoscopies, ultrasounds, whatever that you're supposed to do at certain age, PSAs, how often you're supposed to do them, please don't miss it, because those things can catch things that are going to that are coming at an early stage. And the earlier, the better. When you wait and it's too late, when you start now having pain and having severe symptoms, at that time, things have gotten so bad that they are now affecting other systems of your body. So know your body so that you can catch these things early and get them treated. I'm telling you, just simple malaria that you can treat. If you have malaria and you don't catch it quick and you go to the hospital when the malaria bacteria is all over your body, is overwhelm your body, it might not be treated. You might die from it. That's why a lot of people die in the third world country, because they just brave these things until they can't brave it anymore, and then they go to the hospital and the hospital can't do anything. It's the same thing. If you have cancer, prostate cancer, and these things are showing up and you're just braving them, you don't care, you go to the bathroom several times, or you pee and feel like you didn't empty your bladder, you have to go again more often, and you don't care until you start having pain before you go to the doctor. Usually at that time, it's very difficult to treat. But if you see it early and they give you just simple hormone therapy, it's going to get this problem resolved. So thank you very much. If people want to request what they want to hear next time, fine. If not, I will pick what I want to talk about next time.
Well, thank you so much, Queen Irene. I think we already have, one thing that we would like to continue with, which is the question that Brother Joseph asked, right? You have that pending, so maybe you can expound on that. and we can dive more into those details or those variations of which one is caused by a virus, which one is the cause
Okay.
is from a fungus, which one the cause is from, you know, the other causes that are out there that we may not be aware, because like you say, there is just so much out there, and it's going to be the power of the information that we know, the exposure, and then we will be able to make informed decisions on that. I mean, that's my suggestion.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was true. That's what he asked that. So yeah. So I'm gonna work on that. That would be our next topic.
Wonderful. All right. Yay. Now we have our theme for part 7. So that is going to be so exciting, and we look forward to that. So that brings us to the end of our webinar session for today, but we cannot end without saying goodbye to our family on YouTube. Oh my gosh, you have stayed. I know we have exceeded our 2 hours. The conversation, we got so deep into it, and before we knew it, it was way above 3 o'clock. But thank you for your time. Thank you for your ears. And thank you for your participation, because I can see that a lot was going on as well on the YouTube. Queen Rosaline and everyone on there, thank you so much. We appreciate everything that the conversation, the greetings, the warmth, the family bonding, and following up with the topic. So thank you, thank you. So within the week, while we say goodbye for today, we will look forward to coming back on Sunday again with the Dream Team at 12:45, which is going to be our next meeting time. But before we come back on Sunday, we do have on Mondays to Fridays our twin sisters, the Queen Yvonne, and they do have webinar sessions where Monday to Thursday they do have the recorded version of the webinar, and on Friday they do have the live version. So please, if you are available and if you can, do well to join them in participating and stay updated with our business, what is happening. And then we also have Mindset Monday with Queen Miriam and Dr. Derek. Also, please join if you are available. And we all see the flyers and the meeting times, the Zoom links, everything is being shared out there. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do have Deep Dive Globally Changing Live with Dr. Derek. Again, if you are available, please make time and join and stay updated. And then Singapore, All Passion Singapore on Thursday morning. Again, that is when their platform holds the Zoom meeting. That is also another opportunity for you to attend and be updated and continue on this journey, on our business journey. So thank you all for being here with us. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you again. So bye to all our family on YouTube. Dr. Derek or Dr. Pat, since Dr. Derek is running it in the background, how do we stop the YouTube, or we just stop the entire webinar and everything will stop?
Yeah, Queen Carla, you can just end the meeting, and then if it overflows, Dr. Derry will edit it as.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I thought so. That's good. All right, so we can all unmute ourselves, and we can say we are all in it to win it. At least we are still using that. We don't have our closing signature tune. I didn't pull it up. I don't have it. If I had, maybe we can stop and then we play that. But Dr. Pat is on the road, so Just bear with us. Next week, we'll have all those ready and we'll be able to dance together with our tunes. But for today, please unmute yourselves and let us say goodbye for today and see you next week. And we are so in it to win it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
So win it.
In it to win it.
Thank you.
It's a winning.
And
In it to win it.
hashtag victory with Ash.
Recording stopped.
All right.
Yes, so we are so in it to win it. Thank you, everybody. Our team leaders, please, we are going to have a brief a planning meeting and we will be done before you know it. So let us try to jump in for our planning meeting. Thank you all. We love you and see you next week. Have a wonderful Sunday. Have a wonderful week.
Bye.
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 Blessings.
Mama Edith, I see you. You look so beautiful.
Always. Hi, Nadine. Bye.
Bye.
Ned, hi. See you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Blessings. Have a blessed week.
Yes, you too. You
Bye.
do the
You.
same.
Lord be with you all.
Brother Paul Lapang. Oh, you joined. Wow. Happy
Yes,
Sunday.
I have a very bad network.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good to see you. I didn't see you when you came in. Brother Harold, happy Sunday. Thank you for joining. Juan, Michelle, thank you all. All right, bye. Let's stop.
you.